Ladies and gentlemen, what the fuck is up? Today is June 4th, 2026. We are here doing our trade recap of the day, looking for our A plus setup, how we identified that. Let's take a look at what we got. I've already drawn out two different narratives for the day. We have our bearish narrative that we'll start off with first. First thing we're going to be looking for is identifying our high time frame PD array or drawn liquidity. PD array being an imbalance or a fair value gap, whatever you want to call it. Drawn liquidity being either an external low or high, or a session high, a session low, whatever you want, whatever we're looking at as it's case specific. And in this case, we're looking at a 1 hour fair value gap, which is right here. This 1 hour fair value gap is significant to me because it has been unmitigated since prices came into this area and put in this imbalance. We have not came back to it, unmitigated, unfilled. The second thing I'm going to be looking for is low time frame manipulation into this zone, preferably being at the 50% zone. However, if not, just a tap into the zone will do. And then I also want to see distribution out of the zone, right? So we have manipulation into the 1 hour fair value gap, and then we're going to have distribution, which is going to be some sort of low time frame distribution. I need to see an SMT get filled. I need to see an inverse fair value gap get put in, and I need to have a significant drawn liquidity or a high time frame PD array imbalance fair value gap, again, whatever you want to call it, to target as my TP. Some important factors that I want to take into is going to be news and psychology. How am I feeling today? What happened today in news? On the bullish narrative side, we're going to swap down to the 5-minute for this one. We need to identify our high time frame PD array or drawn liquidity. In this case, we're looking at a 5-minute order block. Some people might say, hey, that's not high time frame, but look, this is our external. So I would say that this is also a high time frame in this general area down here, right? We just filled this 1 hour unfilled gap. What I would like to see is some low time frame manipulation into the zone. And then I want to see some distribution out of the zone in this 15-minute fair value gap over here. As you can see, 8:45 in the morning. Have not tapped into it. This is unfilled. I would like to see a low time frame SMT, a low time frame inverse fair value gap, and then I need to have some sort of TP, which is going to be a high time frame PD array, imbalance for value gap, or drawn liquidity. For this case, we swap back down to the 5-minute. We have this 5-minute order block right here. Okay, and then our drawn liquidity is going to be this unfilled 1 hour, or we have this London high that has yet to be taken. So that's what we're looking for on the bullish side. And then again, of course, our important factor is going to be news and psychology. Let's swap down to the 1-minute. So today we had news. It was red folder news. Happened at 8:30 in the morning. So I'm going to identify the 8:30 candle. I'm going to mark out the low, considering the high has already been taken. Okay. Let's see what happens. Let's see what narrative that we are going to be following. 9:30 opens up. We manipulate into this low time frame for value gap first. However, let's swap down to the 1-minute and let's see what happened. On this move down here, right at market open at 9:30 in the morning, we swept data lows. And then we also edged our 5-minute order block. And then we had our what? Distribution into our high time frame PD array. This is conflicting. We're technically still respecting this 15-minute zone. As time continued, we ended up taking this low, this data low. We respected this 15-minute, just edged this 5-minute order block, and we tapped into our high time frame PD array up here. There were no trades to take it from this order block up to here. We look on the highest time frame first. We're not seeing any inverse fair value gaps. On the 5, we'll swap down to the 3. We have this inverse right here. However, if I were to enter this trade, this is terrible RR. I would never take that trade. Let's look at the 2-minute. On the 2-minute, we have 2 fair value gaps, right? We have fair value gap that was on this candle right here. And then we have a fair value gap on this candle right here. We can't take that. We need the highest time frame fair value gap because we are only looking for one single fair value gap in the manipulation leg. And this also didn't manipulate fully. Down here at this 5-minute order block, it just edged it. And then on top of that, terrible RR. Could not take this trade from here to here with a huge stop. So our bullish narrative has now been disrespected. Or we just didn't get an entry, whatever you want to call. So I am swapping back to my bearish narrative now. And I am looking to see this happen. The time right now is 9:33 on the, let's go to the 5-minute. The time now is 9:35. We have officially tapped into here and disrespected the area. I will now swap over to ES. And I see that we have put in an SMT. On ES, we have taken London's high. On NQ, we have not taken London's high. So as of right now, we have identified our fair value gap, our high time frame PD array, our 1 hour. We have now had our low time frame manipulation into the gap. We now need some distribution, some low time frame distribution. We have our SMT already. So we look at the 5. We wait for the next 5-minute candle to close because we are only looking at the 1-minute, the 2-minute, the 3-minute, and the 5-minute. And we are only going to take the distribution leg of the highest time frame. Inverse happens on the 5-minute. We're going to take the inverse on the 5-minute. If there's an inverse on the 3-minute, I'm not taking it. If there's an inverse on the 2-minute, I'm not taking it. If there's an inverse on the 1-minute, I am not taking it. Because the highest time frame is what I want to see first. Now, that also works vice versa. If there is an inverse on the 3-minute, but there is not an inverse on the 5-minute, I'm going to take the 3-minute, of course. Let's see what the next candle prints out, just to get a little bit more clarification on what I'm saying. As you can see, we have clear displacement out of the zone. However, we do not have any 5-minute fair value gaps in this manipulation leg upwards. As of now, we have an accumulation period. We have some sort of a manipulation. And now we are just starting to see a distribution leg starting to form. So let's scale down. On the 3-minute, do we have any inverse fair value gaps? Don't tell me this. That's about 2 points. Don't tell me that is an inverse. Don't tell yourself that. Let's look at the 2-minute. That is a clean inverse. Okay. Let's look at the 5-minute. This is where we're sitting. Wait for the next candles to be formed in. we are tapping into this 5-minute order block. Let's do a little bit of a recap for now. Our bullish narrative, we've identified this zone. We have now had low time frame manipulation and distribution out of the zone. We have put in our SMT by its sweeping London highs on ES and not on NQ. We now also have our low time frame inverse fair value gap. So what do we need to do now? Get in on the trade and target our take profit. Where's our take profit? Down here. However, we are so far extended at this point, we have not had a retrace back into this 2-minute inverse. So we cannot get in on this trade yet. Scale down to the 1 minute. We need to wait on a retest. We finally get this retest into our 2-minute inverse. Why? If we head over to the 5-minute, this winds up being an unfilled 5-minute gap. Price needed to come back up here to test this area before heading towards where it wants to go. So for those of you asking yourself today, why did this continuation fail? This 5-minute is why. I want to see some respect out of this level, which we get. Head over to the 1 minute. You see yourself having an inverse right here. We're just zooming into price. As we are respecting this 2-minute inverse, also respecting this 5-minute that is sponsored by entering this 1 hour high time frame PD array, this now becomes a protected high. So as we scale down to our 1 minute, this is where I would say it becomes safe to take this trade. Stops at the high. Take profit down at our levels down here. We have now also identified a break-even level right here. We also mark out down here as our take profit 1, and then down here is our full take profit level, because this is our external low. We see price come down, putting in some wicks down here, but still not closing below break even. See price come back up, up, up again. Zoom in even further. This is a 30-second rejection block. We tap nearly into the 50% retracement of this 30-second rejection block. One more candle goes by. Clearly gets respected. Back to our 1 minute. Continue our trade. You'll notice here what we wound up building up on the 1 minute is a bunch of low resistance liquidity. So within the process of us retesting and filling in this 5-minute unfilled gap that has been sponsored by this 1 hour, we have our 2-minute inverse fair value gap here. We have inversed this 1 minute right here, which gave us our entry. We have also respected this 30-second rejection block right here. We close below our break even. We're now able to take our break even. This is our take profit 1 that we have now tapped into. I was using 3 contracts here because of my risk management. If you were using more, You could shave off however much you want to shave off if you're position sizing. We hit full take profit. As you can kind of see, we don't have anything really down here. We don't have anything really for a while. So what does that mean for us? Well, if this extreme low gets taken, this external gets taken, and we don't have any clear draws on liquidity, right? You might have these relative equal lows down here. But if you look at where price is currently at this time, that's a pretty far swing for one day. Almost 400 points. Mind you, we're already down 300 on the day. A little bit under 300 on the day from true day open. So we use our discretion. And wait. You've taken the extreme low. What do we target next? Well, if this side of liquidity has already been taken, we can now start looking towards the upside. We have these right here, relative equal highs, that we can use as a target. We can count this pivot as a swing high, or your external, which still has yet to be taken, is our London highs. Doesn't matter what you pick. Price moves towards liquidity. And you'll also notice that we took this zone and we had some nice reactions out of that zone. Where do we target next? Well, you have this swing low. We have this swing low. We have this swing low down here. Pick one. D-shaped recovery. Today was a beautiful day that proves how you look at the market matters. Price is constantly chasing liquidity. We took this low, and then we took this high. Okay. And then we took this low. Please like and subscribe. Thank you guys for stopping by, and happy trading.